going on, guys? Welcome to Topic of Discussion.
What up?
Yo.
I'm your host, Mike Morgan, and these are my co-hosts.
KJ all day.
We got the one and only Ali the Guru.
So before we go too far, I want to make sure you guys subscribe right below. Click the button. We have a very special guest, guys.
Yeah. The man.
Mr. Lofa Tatupu.
Yes, sir.
Co-founder of Zone N CBD, former Seattle Seahawks player, 8-year vet, 3-time Pro Bowler,
Yeah.
3 times?
Yeah.
Okay.
1-time All-Pro.
Okay.
Lofa Tatupu.
That boy
like
good.
Let's go.
That boy good.
Yes.
Appreciate it,
Thank you,
fellas.
Welcome, Lofa.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Quite
Welcome.
the introduction, Mikey Mo.
That was
Thank
good.
you.
That was a good.
Welcome.
intro.
Did he get it
Yeah.
right? Did Mikey Mo get it right?
Did I miss something?
You know, I'm very particular. I really only voted to the Pro Bowl twice. The third was an alternate, so gotta stay
That
humble.
count, bro. That count.
It counts.
Okay,
All right, Mike
but
Mo,
I'll
what
roll
we
with
talking-
it.
Mike Mo, what we talking about today, man?
Today's topic is playing hurt.
Playing hurt.
We've all been in sports in some kind of way, and playing hurt is a part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just thinking about this the other day. I think about Kevin Durant, right?
Yeah.
The game before the finals, he's boom.
Oh,
He
got that
has a
ankle.
calf injury. They call it a calf injury, but when I saw it, I was like, that's an Achilles.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah, he'll probably be able to make it back to the finals. And he comes back, and I'm thinking, man, he should not be out there. He's not ready. I knew it was an Achilles, but he decided to play when he was hurt. So that's the topic. Why do players play hurt? So I'm gonna open it up. Should players play when they are hurt?
100% yes. Players should play while they are hurt because we know that football is the most violent game in the league, and you go be hurt. Now, should you play injured is another question. So in the Kevin Durant situation, he was probably hurt, but dog, it's the NBA Finals. Get your ass out there.
Oh, you're right.
Get out there. You
You're
got a strained Achilles, strained calf. You got to get out there, especially in that situation. So should players play hurt? Yes.
But KJ, let me ask you this though. Kevin Durant going out there. I know it's the NBA Finals, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got game 1, game 2, game 3,
Mm-hmm.
game 4. Should you try to weigh your options out and maybe wait until game 3 or game 4, rest up game 1, game 2 before you start playing? Because you can go out there and play game 1, game 2, get hurt, and then you're done for the rest of the season.
All right.
So should you kind of weigh that out?
I mean, and I think Kevin Durant did wait. He waited till like game 4, I believe, and he went out there and he was looking fine. And he went out there and he got hurt. He had a career-ending or season-ending injury. But that's a part of the game. It's a part of the game. What you gonna do? Sit down and watch? As an athlete, you got to have that dog in you, that dark side to you, and you're not gonna feel 100%, Ali.
All right, Ofa, what about you, man? Do you think that players should play when they are hurt?
Okay, and I don't want to toe the line or play the
No,
fence.
be 100% real.
It's
This is a
circumstantial.
real show.
It's circumstantial. Okay, now, and I can't sit here and say what I would do if I was Kevin Durant, but his money is guaranteed. As a football player, mine was not. He's 6'11", got one of the most pure jump shots anybody's ever seen. So it wasn't like the threat of losing the Achilles to, it's not going to affect his game in the future, I don't think. If anything, I mean, that's one less variable. That one is staying intact. So I'm just saying, in some risk assessment, I don't think he had that much to lose in terms. He still got a max contract, did he not?
Yeah.
Okay.
He
now,
did.
Okay, but now he would have got that from several people. But now, as a football player, would we get that?
Not at all.
Okay.
No.
Not at all.
So it is circumstantial now. In his case, I'm not nothing to take away from what he did. What he did was impressive, just even getting back on that court. And then, but it's risk assessment to the fullest extent. This is our career, this is our business, and for however blessed we are to do it. So now, in our line of work, what KJ said, that warrior mentality in terms of football, no pun intended, Katie the Warriors, but it's something that's ingrained in us.
Yeah.
And
It's part of it.
and that's a big thing. Are you hurt or are you injured?
Yeah.
And then what I take into consideration is, are you hurting the team?
Yeah.
That's really where
Yeah.
it comes down to. But in most situations, I mean, that's why I probably only played 6 years, is I played through pain. I played through hurt because you're not only expected to, but, you expect the most out of yourself.
But what about playing through an injury, right? Or being hurt, and like Kevin Durant, that could have been his last play, because he wanted to go out there for the team.
So what are you supposed to do, Mike? Sit on the sideline?
Yeah, that's something that you risk, bro.
Yes.
That's why we play the game.
Yeah, it's true.
We play the game because we love it, and you're not gonna feel good all the time.
Why do you think that we, as NFL, football, whatever sport, why do you choose to play hurt? What's the purpose?
A lot of determinative factors in that. Just, what your makeup is. Like, it's a pride thing,
Yeah.
And pride does come before the fall, right?
Yes.
I know that was coming.
That's somewhere in the Bible.
Yeah. But it's just about toughness and being that crutch for your team to lean on. Another pun right there. Talk about injury, right. But it's just the matter of I can do this and proving it to yourself. Warrior mentality, like I can make it through this, and as long as you're not hurting the team, slowing them down, you're still able to accomplish the goal. Then I believe you owe it to them to get out there.
Why do you choose to play when you're hurt?
I choose to play because I love it, and it's hard for me personally. It's hard for me to sit on the sideline and watch the game. That is the most miserable thing for an athlete to watch the game. And if you can go, get your ass out there.
Go.
If you got a little sprained ankle or a tight hammy,
I'm not talking about that. Okay, I'm not talking about it. You hurt.
You talking about?
Hurt.
Are you talking about injured?
Like you are hurt.
Like in bad shape, really bad shape.
Like I'm thinking. Just think of Kevin Durant once again. They said, "Oh, everybody's in the media saying, oh, Kevin Durant, man, Kevin Durant at 65% is better than anybody else."
All right, Mike. So this is the thing. If you're injured, like really messed up, then that's when you can't go. You can't put your team in jeopardy where you're out there just getting killed and can't go. And when you out there just running and just dog pain.
Okay.
That's when you can't go.
So are you saying what is the difference between being hurt and being injured?
It's a big difference.
What is that difference?
Injured reserve.
Huh? No. So if you are on injured reserve, you're injured.
Yeah.
If not, you get your butt out there.
I mean, it's again, everybody's different. Pain threshold. You might be able to play on a knee. I might not be able to. It's but the difference. I just feel like if you can't go well enough to do your job, or in my case, like what I got paid for really was to get everybody else to play get lined up and play at a higher level because they didn't. I did the thinking for them, and so case in point, 2010, my last year, the week before we lost to the Chiefs, I tore a ligament in my right ankle. I thought it was just a bad ankle sprain, and turns out the ligament outside was torn. They said it was like a 6 to 8 week injury. I chose to shoot it up and play the next week. And I played horribly.
Yeah.
Horribly.
Yeah.
But we got the W because everybody else played, well.
So, but hold on. So with that, you saying that you played terrible, which affects you.
It's a risk. It's a risk.
When you go out there and play.
Don't put no bad tape out.
When you go out there and play bad, 32 other teams are watching like, oh, yeah, he ain't got it no more.
32 other teams, the world.
Huh?
The world.
And the
is
world.
watching.
Like, they're like, oh, this guy,
the world,
he
Craig.
ain't got it no more.
Yeah.
And Mike,
so you put yourself in that situation. So we're talking, as we talk about money, like you messing with your money because you're trying to put the team first.
Well, in that regard, I understand what you're saying, but I had enough confidence in myself that I'll bounce back.
We all got that. We all have that confidence.
Do we?
And like, what did you say earlier? Like the player is, he like his threshold.
Pain threshold?
Yeah, his pain threshold. But in everybody's mind, they're gonna be like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. I can go out there.
Well, it's
Guys,
fight or
guys
flight
go
at that
out
one. When it's ready to kick off,
Yeah.
Mike, that adrenaline kicks
there.
in, and it's
But
fight or
still,
flight.
You still see guys out there like,
I
oh,
felt-
I got a hamstring. I can't even run, but I'm still out there.
Yeah, I wasn't running
Why?
well. Hey man, it's part of the game. It's
Let me
part
tell
of the
you this
game.
story.
It's
When
part
I
of the
was in
culture.
My senior year in college, my first game, I had messed my ankle up. Right? Senior year in college, messed my ankle up. It was bad. The day before the game, Ali, I was walking in a boot. I was in a walking boot. Couldn't walk. Tell me why that next day, I was like, I want to play. And you know what they did? Same thing Lofa did. Shot it up, and I went out there.
He played. How'd you
Now,
do?
that was probably the dumbest thing I could have ever done because I had to shoot it up the rest of the season.
Whole season.
The whole season. And you look at it and you look back like, was that smart of me to do? At that time, I was like, man, I was tough. I pushed through. But looking back at it, I don't know if shooting yourself up with drugs, it's not
Okay,
smart.
I was like, all right.
It's not smart. It's not smart to shoot yourself up with Toradol and numbing your muscles and numbing your bones because that's lifelong damage.
Yeah, because you hurt.
But
you hurt.
but you did it.
I did do it.
Why?
I wouldn't do it
Why?
now.
Yeah, why did
Why?
you do it?
I did it at the time because
was
that
a
was
kid in
my
college,
senior
yeah.
year in college. I'm like, if I miss games, I'm probably not gonna get drafted.
But KJ, let me ask you this: it's your senior year in college. You take this huge risk. I'm gonna shoot myself up. I'm gonna go out and play this game. That might be the last game you play. Why would you take that risk?
Because it's a risk. It's a risk you got to take. What you gonna do? Sit down? Because if you sit down, you definitely not gonna get seen.
Yeah, I can answer that one. I think it's different between whatever level you're at.
Yeah.
So, if you're in college, like your ultimate goal is to
Make it to the league.
make it to the league, and if you're not playing your senior year,
That's the last go around.
and you want to get drafted, so you're gonna go out there. You're willing to put it on the line, so you can get to the league, so
Yeah.
you can create the dreams that you always wanted for yourself, which was to be there in that moment.
Yeah.
That's why guys do it. Unless you guarantee the first round pick,
Yeah.
guys are gonna go. And sometimes there's guys that are guaranteed first round and
Yeah.
still do it.
But
which
we
is
see
dumb.
that. We see that now, though. They're treating it more like a business decision.
Yes.
You know,
As they should.
Absolutely. But I mean, so I think social media and other things
Yeah.
have come into play with that. People like outside voices come in like, yo, like, why are you risking it? And then like the kid actually is thinking back, like, yo, yeah, you're right. Why am I?
I get it. Like them college players that sit out bowl games, I commend you. To hell with them bowl games. You played your season and you about to be a first round pick. Don't play.
Ooh.
No, don't play.
Like
Whatever.
if you so
Unless
if
it's
your
a national championship,
so if
but
your
otherwise,
spot
don't
is
play.
already secure, right? It's your
knew that
last
was
year
coming.
and your spot's already secured. If you know you're hurt, do you think that you should still play or no? So like guys like Zion
Yeah.
before his last game, right? He already knows he's gonna get drafted.
Right. True.
If he was hurt or he did end up getting hurt,
Yeah.
right? Should he still play?
But it's like a lot of people say Zion should shit out the rest of the season. No. Get your ass out there. You a ball player, and ball players play ball. Just because you guarantee the number one overall spot, just send out. That should not be in a player's DNA to sit down.
Which one is it, KJ? You said get your butt out there.
No, Mike, I'm talking about two different scenarios. If you're Zion and you got hurt,
He got hurt.
listen.
hurt.
If you can come back 100%, get out there.
What if he couldn't come back 100%? He wasn't gonna be 100%.
What?
He was not going to be 100% when he came back.
He looked pretty good dunking on
He's jumping
everybody.
out the gym.
You said go get your butt back.
But
out
if
there.
Zion out there limping on one ankle, no, your stuff is solidified. If you're
I-
in my situation, a 4th round, 5th round pick, I gotta get out there, Mike.
If I was him and when that shoe was it when did he get injured
shoe
when the
came
shoe
out.
busted?
Yeah.
I'm not playing no more.
And that's weak to me.
Why?
Cause that's
That
weak. You're a
could've-
ball player.
That could have been it, brother.
Lofa, help me out. Help me out, Lofa.
But see, this is where it's tough because this is where I kind of side with Mikey Mo. And that's
What?
like, okay, you got to understand. Now,
He's a
the
big-
lotto pick, the first over lotto
round
pick,
pick.
and on top of the shoe deal alone is like $100 million. I'm talking
lot of
like
money.
I'm talking family set for
So-
generations.
I get that. Lofa.
Like,
So what do? You just sit
Business
down?
decision.
Hell yeah.
You just sit down, Lofa?
You a business, brother.
Okay, but you got to think about it. There's a difference in the time when we went. Even you went to school.
Yeah.
Just what was your rookie year? 11.
2000.
11. Yeah.
11 was your last year.
Yeah.
Okay, and before that, my last year was 4. There's gaps, and there's been progress in terms of people making this about a business decision, which they should. This whole time, we were just having these dreams of making it to the league and everything. It's a business.
Why do we put why do we put money over the love of the game? I get it. But if you can go, Lofa, go. That's point blank. Period.
Because it's a business at the end of the day.
Oh, I would tell you, yeah.
It's a KJ. It's a business.
I know what
bro.
you're saying. As a dog, yeah, I'm gonna go. Me
As
personally,
a man,
you can-
I would advise
I
my
can-
son to
okay.
get back out there.
okay.
No, you wouldn't.
But I can.
I don't. I'm not buying it.
Well, see, I would advise my son to do what his heart says, because I would go out there, but that doesn't mean
It's the smartest thing.
You gotta say, hey.
But my son's not me. And just like, I'm saying, everyone has to think for themselves. Can you live with the consequences is what you have to ask yourself. Can you, whether you get hurt, can you live with that? Or, maybe you don't get hurt. Can you live with that? And that's what it really comes down to. For me, I can live with it. I did my thing. I did my thing. I don't care if people remember me for this. Like, it is what it is.
So, all right. So let me ask you, what are the pros to playing hurt? What are the pros to it?
You look good.
What are the pros?
You
Pros
look
to
good.
it is
you look undefeated.
the pros is as a man, you tough. You a warrior. You a dog.
Strong.
Who gives a damn?
When
I
I
think-
look in the mirror, Mike. When I
okay.
look in the mirror, I'm be like, you a soft ass for not going out there, or you be
Yeah.
like, man, you did your thing, KJ.
I'm a dog.
What if you actually
job.
KJ? What if you're actually hurt and
Like-
you still want to go
You
out
need
there?
you need to use your words right. Are you hurt or injured? Use your words right.
What if you go out there? Guys go out hurt and play.
Go out there.
Go out there anyway. You
Okay.
you a warrior.
Can you do further damage?
Yes, you can always do further damage.
You have to look down the road, is what I'm saying. All right? Is there anything that's going to limit your ability to ever come back on this field, court, whatever anything you want to call it?
All right. So what are the cons to playing hurt? What are the cons to it?
Future damage.
Huh?
Feel like shit afterwards. Like for me, like in college, like when I got done, when I played hurt, I couldn't walk the next day. Because I shot my ankle up and numbed it up.
And was it worth it?
The cons is it damages your body and you feel terrible afterwards. And that's just point blank, period. And you can barely walk the next day in some cases.
So think about that in your real mind right here. I'm gonna go out there and play hurt, injured, whatever you want to call it. There's a difference, but I'm gonna go out there and do this, and I ain't gonna be able to walk the next day for the team.
Did your team win?
That's crazy to think.
For
though.
Ali, for the team. Like
You're
think
right.
about that. Like I think athletes.
team win?
I think athletes get so brainwashed into being so into this. First of all, it's a game. First of all, this is a game.
Yeah.
It's a game.
To some.
At the end of the game.
It's
at
a
the end of
brotherhood
the-
to some.
At
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's not life or death. Some people play to win the game. Some people play for money. Some people play for whatever. Everybody has their thing. What is your thing?
Because I love it, Mike. And I'm not playing for.
What does that mean? You love it.
He
You
loves
lo-
the
you
game,
love-
bro.
You love the game, so you
What
just
you mean?
you want to go out there and be hurt and come home freaking injured. Kidding me?
Sometimes. Not in all cases, but
It
in
sounds
most cases.
It sounds a little bit like you're brainwashed. And
No,
we,
you-
and
so
we've
I'm-
all been there where it's like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna go out there and play.
Far from that.
Do you feel like you get pressure from your teammates to go out and play hurt, injured?
It's been a while for me, KJ. You take
Do
this
you?
one.
Do we? All right.
It's but with your teammates, it's like subliminal pressure. If one of my teammates come up, KJ, how you feeling? I ain't played in 3 weeks. I could be feeling awful. Couldn't barely get up out the bed. You know what I'm gonna say? I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling cool. Yeah, because you know that they want you out there, and so
Yeah.
I feel like that's how I feel when somebody asks you, "What's up, man? How you feeling?" You know, they like, when your ass coming back out here. That's what they asking. That's what they really want to ask you.
What about you? You feel like when you played, was it pressure from your teammates? Like, hey, bro, we need you. We need you out there, Loaf.
No.
Come on, big dog.
It
Ain't the
was
same
actually,
without you.
It was the other way around. I was my own worst enemy in terms of pushing myself back out there. I didn't listen to the training staff. I didn't listen to even guys that were on the team. They were like, yo, man, like you might want to sit this one out because we know what you're going through. So in that factor, I wish I had been a little more receptive to their input than saying, oh, man, I can tough through this, and it's only going to make me tougher coming out the other side, which it does, and you learn from it, right? But, again, like you said, you never know if it could be your last time playing.
Mm-hmm. So, hey, can I ask you guys something? I remember last year, KJ, when you got hurt last year and you sat out for a few games, maybe it's not pressure from your teammates, but did you feel like at any point you felt any sort of pressure that you were going to get replaced if you didn't come back soon enough?
That's a good question, Ali. That's a really good question. I would say yes, because it's a replacement league. And if you do get hurt, there's someone else out there performing. They're performing in your spot. So I believe there is a little bit of anxiety that you can have when you're hurt. Like, damn, if I don't get back in time, this person is going to eventually take my spot. So definitely that anxiety does pop up. Now, pressure from the training staff.
Did you feel that? Do we feel that? Pressure from training staff?
I would say our training staff, personally, is overcautious. I think they overcautious. Like, if you get hurt, they immediately shutting you down, and it's going to take you a while to get back. So I say they overprotective.
Yeah, I feel like some places it's like that where they want to make sure that guys are healthy, but that ain't the case everywhere.
That's
not the case everywhere. So I've heard in other places, hey man, get your butt, get out. You're all right. You're all right. The team doctors, they'll all tell you it's not as bad of an injury than you think it is, and then you go out there and re-injure yourself.
Yeah.
That happens in places.
Now, you know what coaches and management need to do, Mike? Let me put y'all idea on this. I say if you can't practice on Friday, you can't play on Sunday. If you can't give me a practice on Friday, should you be out there playing on Sunday? I say you shouldn't.
I got a better example. I don't think that the teams should. The training staff should be employed by the team.
Oh, that's a good one. That's next level type stuff.
I think it should be an outside source
to make
to make sure that the players are actually ready to go. So there's no gray area like, oh, he's healthy.
Yeah, there's no biased opinion.
No, I hear you. Yeah,
put him out there.
Yeah, there's
it's
no biased
just
opinion.
You're welcome, NFL.
But if you can't practice on Friday, should you be able to play on Sunday? I don't think that you should, because in 24 hours, like, bro, it ain't gonna make a difference.
No, but at that same time, sometimes you need an extra couple days. You had a tough game, especially if you're a vet. What you need to be out there practicing for?
If you can't,
you can
like
get your
physically,
mental, you can get your mental reps. You can get your
practice.
mental reps. Like, hey man, I need like I think about somebody like Beast Mode when he had 30 carries, 35 carries in a game. Like, no, dog. What he need to go out and practice for on Friday?
You're not listening to the point, Mike. You're not listening to the point. I said if you can't practice, should you play? Like, you have to limping and stuff. So like, you have to limping and stuff on Friday. Should you be able to go out there on Sunday?
Yeah. Like, if you hurt, you cannot physically practice.
Well, my best game came from a week where I didn't practice.
Ooh. You couldn't or can't.
Were you able to go there next week, Lofa?
Both. I played.
Were you able to go the next week?
But it was circumstantial, right? So what happened was
must have been a playoff game.
No, but it was the clinch. So
yeah, same thing.
Yeah, it was on the line. Stakes were higher, but so what happened was we're playing St. Louis. I fall on Steven Jackson and like I tear my oblique, right? We come away we barely escaped that game with the win. That whole next practice or whole next week, I was shut down. They're like, "Oh, Lowe's probably not going to play." And Holmgren's like, "Well, just sit in the meetings, see what you can do. So, we'll test you again down the week." I was like, "Yeah, I'm not listening to them. I'm going to go. If I can go, we're going." Mm-hmm. So then we get to the away trip. We travel 2 days in advance. So that Friday, like 10 of us get the flu.
Oh.
So now I was like, okay, this actually probably, now I can't play, most likely. But so we get to the field, right? And I suit up just in case, I feel a little better because a bunch of IVs.
Yeah.
And in the corner, my boys, Leroy and Julia Peterson, are talking trash to the fans. And so I'm like, man, like, I can't even go over there and talk smack right now because I'm not going to play.
No.
So I was like, and it's killing me. And then I hear someone like just yell, Tatupu, you suck. And I was like, that's it. I'm playing. And I went over there, had some choice words with them. And then I was like, yo, I'm going to come out here. I'm going to pick off a ball, and I'm going to throw it at you. There was one person in a Loaf T jersey. So it happened to be the first play. I picked it off, ran down there. I got knocked out of bounds, and I threw the ball to that person, and I flipped the rest of the crowd.
Hey, Lofa is the man.
Lofa the man.
Hey, they still walking around the Seahawks, the CenturyLink field with
51.
Lofa T. I mean, damn, Lofa is really a legend.
No.
Lofa is really a legend. All right, so now I'm going to go into the topic of, do players hide injuries from their team?
It's tough because, like, are you a young guy trying to make the club? Like, are you a veteran who's got your spot secured? But, I mean, there's still people, trying to get that spot eventually, right? So do you hide things? You manage what you can until it becomes evident that you can't do what you're supposed to on the film, and then maybe you have a conversation, with your coach. What about the hernia surgery?
What about it?
Can you take us through the thought process of that and
Actually,
how
I'm curious
you
on that too.
Oh, the
when you
hernia
I remember when you played.
Yeah.
I remember back when you played. I was almost even thinking if you was ready to play.
Well, so with the hernia surgery, I went and had the first. It happened just something happened. I had a hernia injury, and so I go to Philadelphia to see this doctor, the specialist, and he said, he's like, yeah, I think you can play through it, but you're gonna be back here eventually. And so it was, I think that was the year. That was like the year I'm supposed to be, the contract year. So I'm like, yeah, well, what can you do? He's like, all right, we can inject it with this, I guess, cortisone or something like that, and you'll make it through the year. And I was like, all right, that sounds cool. It's contract year. And so I start, and then a couple games later, I'm like, nah, it's terrible. I can't make it. So I had to go have the surgery. And then I should have just had the surgery in the first place.
I was going to say, did somebody tell you to just go ahead and get that surgery?
Somebody did say that.
That was contract year?
Yeah, that was the one. So,
Okay.
and that was like the first year, like full-time starter.
Yeah.
And then boom, it happened. Whatever. But yeah, I should have made sure I was healthy. But at the same time, in your mind, you're thinking like, all right, you don't want them to replace
judge
So
you
it's
or
like,
something
no,
like
not
that.
judge you, but replace you, because it's like KJ said, it's a replacement league. So I was like, well, it's 1 year. Go out there, fight through it, and get the surgery done afterwards. But it didn't happen that way. And a lot of guys feel that same way. It's like, especially in the NFL football, they all feel like it's contract year. I just gotta fight through it for this one so I can get the big deal.
Yep.
Damn, that's how you felt.
Yeah,
but then afterwards, you like really kind of hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
kinda,
so was it worth it?
Was it worth it?
Because you could have waited. You could have waited it out.
And now it was not. I should have just got it done in the first place, but I didn't.
So why did you play then?
Because I was brainwashed.
Mike, you think I'm brainwashed?
A little bit, yeah. We all are. Football players, any athlete, like
Brainwashed from who? Brainwashed from what?
just like this mindset of, oh man, this is, like I say, this is a game. It's not life or death. But I'm hurt, but I'm still gonna go out there and I can possibly make it worse.
It's that gladiator warrior mentality I keep bringing it back to, is you want to see how far you can push it.
Yeah.
Where's the limit?
Yeah.
Where's our pain threshold? And that's like, what do you say, we're brainwashed? We're like, oh, well, I heard so-and-so played with torn MCL. Or I could do it. If he could do it, I could do it. And it's just kind of like what hasn't been done. And,
Yeah.
you
And
push it farther and farther.
And Mike, it was just like this past season, like when I messed my knee up. I had came back, and then that Rams game, you remember I couldn't finish the Rams game. I knew that night before, I was like, I am in so much pain. I couldn't jog 10 yards without hurting. But what did I do? Put my knee brace on, strapped up, went out there. Couldn't finish the game. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
But
it's
crazy because
it's part of it. What I'm gonna do? Just sit down.
Because I remember watching that game too, and it was kind of a bad look from a fan standpoint because it was like, okay, KJ's back. Oh, he's ready. He's gonna be all game. Dang, he got hurt again. That's how fans see it.
Yeah.
So it's like at that point, it's like KJ's always hurt. So it's almost a worse like look. It's almost worse.
And it may be the worst look, but at the end of the day, I can look at myself in the mirror and be like, I gave it all I possibly could.
You can live with it.
So you
all I possibly could.
And you can live with that now. So we think so as players, we think so short term.
And now,
Man, I can tough it out. But 20 years down the road, 30 years down the road,
oh, you'll feel it.
Was it worth it? I can't walk. I'm in a freaking wheelchair. Cause we seen those guys too, like these old vets that can't even freaking walk, cause they gave it up for the team.
I don't know. This is what I was born to do, man. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
And if you can relate, man, it's
It's football
What
players.
do you mean you were born to do this? That one. And then what?
I mean, I'm going on with life as is, but
You can't play it forever.
Oh, what? I can still watch it. I can still.
No, man, you ain't born to do it.
Man, I was coaching it.
Okay.
It will always be a part of me. Football, like, I'm getting so excited that football is 2 weeks away. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait to go to camp now that I'm not practicing.
Or
I can't
coaching.
wait to watch it. Yeah. I might pull up on a boat on Lake Washington.
Oh, I'm coming with you.
Let's do that. We should do our next show from there.
Oh,
or
on a
your
boat.
next show.
That'd be lit.
Don't want to say I'm
That'd be
a
lit.
fixture here.
You know what I think, Mike? I think that I see what you're saying. Obviously, from a human being standpoint, playing hurt doesn't sound right. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. But what Lofa is saying, from a gladiator's standpoint, that's what you guys are here to do.
That's not what you're here to do.
It is though,
I
Mike.
think it is.
No, it's
You
not.
Mike, you don't
you get
have
paid
to play.
a lot of money.
Mike,
yeah.
I tell you what, you don't have to play.
Yeah, it is a privilege to play.
You made
It is a privilege. It is a privilege,
No,
Lofa.
it's a choice to play.
No, it is
It
a
is a
privilege.
It is a
privilege.
It
It's a privilege.
It is a choice.
See, that's the difference in opinion right now.
It's a choice to play.
Mike, you don't have to play.
You don't have to play.
Lofa, what do you mean?
I choose to.
What do you mean, Lofa? It's a privilege.
It's a
to play?
privilege.
What?
What do you mean
Not
it's a
everyone
privilege?
gets to do this.
You know how many
And I
people
make
want
the
to go to the
choice too.
league?
Yeah.
Everyone.
You know how many people want to go to?
And they couldn't make
Mike,
it.
I tell you what.
And they couldn't make it.
I'll be glad to be injured and take your spot.
And
You know how many people would say that?
and they couldn't make it. They didn't make it
But they would love to take your position
until they see what you deal with.
And then you're sitting here saying, I shouldn't play because my ankle's kind of
Yeah.
you know.
And
Yeah.
Lofa, and Lofa, you
Yeah.
think, and Lofa,
You know what I'm saying?
you think it's a privilege because
Why? What makes it a privilege?
Man, this ain't promised to nobody.
It's not.
What do you
You,
mean it's not promised to anybody?
you had to work your ass off to get here, man.
Yeah.
Yes. So
And
is
then
that a privilege or is that something that
it's
you
both. Yeah,
you
it's your
created?
choice to
you
do.
created that.
Oh, that with a lot of luck. You know, I took the
Yeah.
path less traveled in my
But it,
you
but
know
it,
adventure
but it
to the
happened
NFL.
for you though.
Yeah, I mean it did, but still, to do what we get to do in KJ's case for a living is a privilege, and I mean, there's no other way to look at it. That's part of
Part of the game.
yeah,
the game.
I agree on it.
It's part of the game, man.
I can agree with that. I can agree with
I don't
that.
know about that, fellas.
I respect what you're saying.
Why
I just
don't you
think,
think
like,
it's a privilege? in the
we
NFL?
so athletes get so like this is not the only thing that you can do in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just something that
You're good at
you
it.
thought it was fun, so you wanted to go
Right.
do it.
100%.
That's
I-
it.
Oh, I
And
agree,
you're
but-
good. So I'm
But
gonna
the-
go out there
but
and
here's
do
the thing,
it.
like once you're in it, you in it.
Why?
It's like in anything, and when you do
No,
anything,
it's
you
not
gotta
like
give
that
it your
in
100%.
anything.
You
It's
gotta
not-
give 100% in anything in life.
It's not like that.
And you know what comes? It's the same thing with your marriage. If you go into a marriage, there's gonna be bumps in the road. You can't just, I'm not feeling good. I'm just gonna get out.
There's a difference.
You got to push through it.
There's a
Same
difference
thing with injuries. You got to push through it.
There's a difference between bumps in the road and being hurt, and then long-term injuries, being in a freaking wheelchair when you're 60 years old.
But Mike, We know what we
So when I'm rolling around in my wheelchair,
Mike,
oh
that's the
man,
thing.
it was so worth it.
We know what we
Was
signed
it?
up for, though. Do you know what you
No,
you know
guys
what you
don't
signed
know.
up
The
for?
guys don't know what they signed.
Oh,
Really,
well,
guys really don't know
it's
what they
becoming
signed
more
up
and more
for.
evident.
Now they're figuring it out more. But before, man, them dudes were going out there being freaking crazy, and they weren't taking care of those players.
You know what you signed up for, bro? Just like when you're a kid. Like for me personally, I don't want Cam playing football.
Why not? It's his choice.
If he wants to play, go ahead. But I would prefer if he does not play.
Okay,
football.
so you wouldn't want your son to play football. Why not?
Because I know the mess it brings.
So if you could go back and I asked this one time before, if you could go back and do the same thing over again, would you do it?
Majority of it, yes.
What would you not do? But then why won't you let him play if you're so happy with it?
Because I love him too much and I don't want him to feel the shit that I be feeling.
So it's worth it. That's what I'm trying to.
For me, it's worth it. I don't want him to go through it.
I don't get that. I don't.
Because I guess I love him more than I love myself. If that makes sense.
That makes sense. He gonna want to do what Daddy does.
He
gonna wanna play ball.
Do as I say. Don't do what I do.
If you give your son advice saying, "Son, don't play football. Don't do this, man," I heard all the time.
I don't want him playing because I know what it does to the body.
You know, the
Fucking
toll it
period.
takes, everything.
But that's what I hate to go back to it, but you were saying that. I'm saying it again. You are telling your son, "Don't play football, son. It hurts me a lot, and I'm gonna be hurt for the rest of my life." So why go back and do it again?
No one says you be hurt the rest of your life. But
But
I don't know any other way, Mike. I've been doing this shit since 5th grade. I don't know anything else besides I'm in it. So I'm in it till I'm not gonna say till the wheels fall off.
Until you're not.
just
You're in it until you're
But
not.
you are going to have injuries that are going to be forever. Do you not have injuries that you're going to feel for the rest of your life?
Possibly, yes.
Possibly.
Yes.
I got
All right, so let me
injuries
ask you,
that I'm
Mike,
going to feel for
since
the
you got
rest
all
of
the
my
answers,
life.
since you got all the answers, dog, you played in the NFL as well.
Yes.
You pulled your hammies. You didn't.
Hernia,
Your back messed up.
Knees, ankles.
What would you do?
concussions,
What would you do
whatever.
if you could go back?
If I could go
pop
back
one
and
of-
do it again, yeah, I'd do it again. Why? and I'm going to tell you why. Because I made a lot of money.
Hey, everyone got their different
I made some good money.
Absolutely.
And so me
That comes with
personally,
it too.
I never thought of football as oh man, it's gonna be forever. I was like, man, let me just go get a head start in life.
Easy.
That's a good way to see it.
Absolutely.
That's a
Thank
good way to
you.
see it.
Yeah.
That is a good way to see it.
So you would do it all over again. Talking all that
I
smack.
would,
all that.
yes, but you didn't even have an answer though. You said because I love it.
It can't be that simple.
Because I love it.
It's pretty.
What do you
it's-
love?
it's
What?
that
Okay,
simple.
so if we talk about love, what do you love about the game?
I could go on-
Anybody can
I
answer
could go
that.
on and on about that.
What do you go start? I would like to hear.
I love competing. First
You
of
can
all,
go compete at Microsoft. You can go compete
I
at
know.
Google.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Question,
ain't to
dog.
say, yeah, ain't to
I love
say.
competing. I love taking another grown man and be like, I'm better than you. I'm tackling you and throwing you to the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, the crowd playing in front of 60,000 people.
Yeah.
Dog, you played in the Super Bowl. Did that not feel good?
It felt good, but it was only temporary.
Anyway, I love everything
You'll
about the
remember that
game.
forever.
I love it.
I'm gonna remember the moment forever. Yes, I'm gonna remember the moment forever. Win the Super Bowl. Cool.
It's
Lofa,
actually
Lofa,
pretty cool.
Lofa,
You make
Lofa.
me down in it.
It is cool. It's
pretty
cool.
Lofa, what
Like,
did you-
I won the Super Bowl. Cool.
What did you love about the game, Loaf?
I loved everything, man. You know, just the competition, the team,
Yeah.
huge
Oh,
on
yeah.
team. You know, I treat it as a brotherhood. Like, you know, it's family, and those are my guys. Those are my brothers, and that's, you know, them. You know, I know you said a lot of people say do it for the money. You know, the fans. You know, it's awesome. But those guys that are in there going through it with you, the dark days of camp. You know. 2 or 3 game losing streak. But yo, so I love ball. I came back to ball to coach, and I'll probably go back to ball when the time's right. I got 2 little ones. It's too much time away from them. But I did in fact enjoy the hell out of myself coaching. I mean, obviously I had these guys to coach, so I don't, and you know, Bobby Wagner, I don't know how good of a coach I was. He made my job pretty easy, and a great mentor in Michael Barrow. So, but the opportunity was awesome, and I loved everything about it. I really did. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and football will never leave me. I will go back to scouting or coaching down the road when the time is right.
So is playing for your teammates a good decision? Playing for your brothers, as they like to say, is playing for your teammates when you are not ready to be on the field a good decision?
The goal of the game is to win, right? That's what we're out here to do.
Ultimately,
No, that's the only goal.
and to make money.
Okay, that's cool too. But the goal of the game is to win.
Yeah.
Right?
You wouldn't do it if you wasn't making the money.
We've already went over this. Yes,
Yeah.
we would.
You wouldn't go out there right now today and go play if you weren't making the money.
Well, that's why the game's so great. You can't go outside and play pickup football. All right? You need 22 guys. It's not going to happen. All
yes,
right?
you can.
Get out of here, my
They
email.
do it all the time.
But the game, the objective of the game is to win, right? So if you add to the percentage of that chance being a win, then yes, you go out there.
Yeah.
You also weigh in the fact of, am I going to do further damage, that irreparable damage? I will not be walking the same or running the same after this down the road. It is a business decision.
Is somebody are they going to tell you that? Like, hey,
No, you gotta make up your-
if you go out there, you probably won't be able to walk.
They're going to tell you, yeah. They're going to, honestly, like, this is what's wrong with you. That's what the medical staff's there for. What further damage? That's the first thing I asked when I got injured.
Yeah.
What further damage can I do? If I go out there, like, in the area or somewhere else, like, because obviously, your stride's going to be off, right? I messed up the ankle in college, came back, shot it up. Well, then I wasn't running properly, wasn't straight and right, so my quad started giving out, right? So there's other
They're all
lingering
connected.
effects,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But, luckily I was young. It didn't give out, blow. But I mean, you just have to, in those, what I was worried about that, I was a sophomore starting. I was like, yo, I can get replaced. I got like 4 blue chip All-Americans behind me.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm playing is because one of them got hurt.
What about concussions? Should anyone play around with concussions?
And I don't think anybody should play around with any injury. Concussions is another one. Yeah. Have I hit concussions? Hella concussions.
Really?
Yeah, bro. You get a concussion damn near every play sometimes. And there's a difference. You don't know. Like, all right, if I get boom, I get a ding to my
Ding,
head.
yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm a little daisy. And sometimes you be like, all right, I'm daisy, but I'm going to keep playing. Half the time, when if you ever see me on the sideline and I'm pouring water on my head, I got a towel on my neck, it's probably because I had a concussion.
That's your signs?
Yes.
Lofa, hit on the concussions
yeah.
first, Lofa. Hit on the concussions.
What do you want me to say on
I
concussions?
don't know if we're going to use that part.
Because I think there's different levels to concussions. There's some dings. But
You don't know. How
well,
do you deter? You can't say,
listen.
anytime I got a
I think I've had several concussions.
Did you report them?
No.
Okay,
I mean,
so
it
you
was
had several, so you
well, the ones that were the most severe were obvious.
Yeah.
Yo, Loaf didn't
Knocked
get
out,
up.
Yeah.
But so those ones, yeah, obviously you can't play. And I think the NFL is doing a great job with getting the spotter. They now have a guy up there or a person with binoculars trying to spot, guys getting up slow, And I think, you should probably maybe employ some former players that know what it looks like, that collision, that impact, so because you see guys all the time, and they're getting up and like, yo, man, like, look like you stepped in a hole, and then someone grab him and, keep him upright.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, it was getting your bell rung back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I'm dizzy, dizzy or dazed or whatever you want to call it. Like, yeah, like, if you could play through it, you played through it.
Lofa, so what should players do? Let's say you see a teammate that possibly have a concussions. Should you as a teammate tell the training staff, hey, I think
So-and-so
Leroy's messed up?
I think that's tough because, it's like, to make comparisons, it's like you're the corner man for a fighter and you're trying to take him out the fight. It's I mean, obviously you go check on him, but I can't, I'd make sure he's all right because I play with Leroy and I know when he's off. And he had one back in Tampa, but it was evident. It was clear.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't getting up quick. And, but I personally have a tough time, like saying, yo, he can't go.
Really?
I've never done that.
So you wouldn't be like, man, hey, get him out. He's he's hurt.
I'd say maybe go check on him, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
say, yo, he can't play. I would never.
I think that's the thing where it's like, man, it's my dog, it's my boy. He's in his contract year, but he's really messed up.
Listen,
Where's the
fellas,
balance in that?
I've personally been snitched on by having a concussion. You gotta snitch on your teammates when they have a concussion. Period. Go to the head trainer. Hey, come look at him. End of discussion. There ain't no way around it because you gotta.
Why-
This your brain. We ain't talking about no damn
Yeah.
elbow or no knee.
They all matter.
This is your brain. Your brain is your operating machine. You can't play around with brain injuries.
Yeah.
At all.
That's a tough one.
'Cause you remember what happened Minnesota? You probably remember, but I got dinged the first play of the game.
remember.
I got dinged the first play of the game. I started stumbling. Minnesota scored. I get back to the sideline. I talked to Bobby and Leroy. I was like, man, what happened? How'd they score? You know what they did?
Trainer.
Y'all, come look at this man right
Get
here.
him out of here.
You gotta snitch on. You gotta snitch on them. And it's not even snitching. It's being a.
I mean, yeah, being a good teammate, taking care of him.
And I think that the times have changed.
Absolutely.
Before
'Cause
it was
that-
like,
changed.
Because
the
that
times
would
have changed. Like that was, like you said, it was.
that would
it
have been
used
a
to
fight
be-
between me
it-
and Leroy.
no, but
That would have been a fight.
The head injury and be like, oh, you just got your bell wrong.
Yeah.
That's what they used to call it, get your bell wrong. But now it's like, oh,
They give you
now
smelling
we've-
salts.
Now
Take
we,
that.
Now
Take
we've
that.
seen. Now we've seen the effects of it. Guys are
Absolutely.
having all kind of issues because
No.
it's so serious. But it's getting better.
It's getting
It's
better.
not there yet, but hopefully one day they'll figure it out and we can keep the game alive.
Yep.
So last question, guys. Playing injured. Championship game. Super Bowl. Finals. Whatever sport you play. Is it finals in hockey too? Yeah. Finals. You are freaking hurt. Do you go out there and play?
Yes.
I'm going all the way in.
Yep. You do.
All the way.
Mikey
I'm
Mouse?
asking what are you doing?
I'm doing it too.
Yeah.
You got to.
I can't lie. I'm gonna go
You
do
got
it
to,
too.
bro.
I'm gonna try to give it all. It's the last year. I mean, it's the last
Last
game of the year. But
Yeah.
then hopefully I don't freaking
You know,
ruin
and
my
that's-
career.
And that's crazy. That's that gladiator mentality
Yeah.
where it's like it's the last game. I am hurt, but it's the last game. We're in the championship or we're in the finals. Man, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna give it my all. And then you know what? Tomorrow, if I'm beat, then I'm beat.
And tomorrow, if
That's
this-
that gladiator.
and
I
it's-
got a
and-
whole 6 months,
and,
7
and
months to
tomorrow, if
recover.
it's the
Get
last,
back.
and tomorrow it's the last day of my career.
It's the last day.
It was all worth it. Hell no. Don't play injured. That's it, folks.
dog.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank you, Lofa, for coming.
Appreciate it, Lofa.
Topic of discussion.
Thank you.
Make sure you guys subscribe right now.
Like,
Click
comment,
the button. Subscribe.
follow us on
Leave a
Instagram.
comment.
Somewhere around here. Right? That's where the button is.
Yeah, it's right. It's right. It's right there.
I think it's on this side.
Or maybe it's
side?
right there. Do it right now. Thank you guys. Leave a comment. Peace
Thank
out.
you.
Yeah, you said it.